Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered why some people get diseases like Alzheimer's, which is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that primarily affects memory and cognitive function, or Parkinson's, which is a progressive neurological disorder that primarily affects movement, but can also impact mental health, sleep, and other bodily functions, and others don't? Why does a disease seem to run in a family, but not every family member gets it? The answer is a complicated and fascinating story, and it all comes down to the role of genes in neurological disease. Now, when we think about genes causing disease, we often think of things like Huntington's disease. This is a classic example of a rare, single-gene disorder. If you inherit the mutated gene, you will almost certainly develop Huntington's. Scientists have been able to pinpoint these specific single-gene mutations, which has been a huge step in understanding and treating these conditions. But what about more common neurological disorders, like Alzheimer's disease, stroke, or Parkinson's? The story here is much more complex. For most people, there isn't a single gene that causes the disease. Instead, it's a complicated dance between our genes and our environment. Think of it like this: your genes are a blueprint, but how that blueprint is built and what forces act on it over time are all influenced by your environment, things like your diet, lifestyle, and exposure to toxins. For these common diseases, we are not talking about one big genetic flaw. We are often talking about tiny, subtle variations in our DNA. These variations are called SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms. The impact of any single SNP on your risk of developing a disease is usually very small. But when you get an unfortunate combination of many of these small hits in your genome, combined with environmental factors, that's when your risk for a disease like Alzheimer's or a stroke can increase significantly. But the story doesn't end with just the DNA sequence itself. We are also learning that gene regulation plays a huge role. Think of gene regulation as the dimmer switch for your genes. It controls whether a gene is turned on or off, and how much protein it produces. Changes in this regulatory process, often caused by tiny molecules called shunnas or by epigenetic factors, can also contribute to disease. This means that a person could have a perfectly normal gene sequence, but if that gene isn't being regulated correctly, it can still lead to problems. So, how do scientists figure all this out? They use two main types of studies. The first is a genome-wide association (GWA) study. In a GWA study, scientists scan the entire genomes of a large group of people, some with a disease and some without. They are looking for subtle differences, like those SNPs. The second type of study is called gene expression profiling. Instead of looking at the DNA sequence itself, scientists look at how genes are being expressed. They compare the levels of gene activity in people with and without a disease to see which genes are being turned on or off differently. To do these studies, scientists used to rely on a device called a DNA microarray, or a gene chip. It was a groundbreaking tool, but it's a bit like taking a picture of a library's book spines. You can see which books are there, but you can't read the whole content. Today, scientists are increasingly using a technique called next-generation sequencing. This is a powerful new set of technologies that allows them to read entire DNA or RNA sequences, nucleotide by nucleotide. It's like being able to read every single word in every book in the library. This method is incredibly efficient and cost-effective, giving scientists a detailed, high-resolution readout of the genome and helping them uncover the complex genetic secrets behind neurological diseases. This research is crucial because the more we understand these intricate connections between our genes, our environment, and our health, the closer we get to developing new ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat these devastating diseases. Thanks for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more science content. What other topics would you like to see us explore? Let us know in the comments below.